Hello, I'm Janice and I hope you're all doing well. So I have realized there is an entire continent of food that I've never really properly tried. And so in today's video, that is exactly what we're going to do. I feel so lucky I live in Sydney because any type of cuisine that you want to try, there's some place that will do it well. And we're starting today's video here in Blacktown because there's an Ethiopian restaurant that I really want to try. And without further ado, let's go. Today I'm in Blacktown at a restaurant called Gursha Ethiopian Restaurant and Cafe, and it's run by a husband and wife duo that's been here since 2017. So the name Gursha actually refers to the Ethiopian gesture of feeding somebody a bite by hand. So it's meant to be a symbol of hospitality and respect and sharing. So we ordered a veg and meat combination. So we'll get 3 sort of meat lovers dishes and then 5 veggie dishes. Okay, so the first thing we gotta do is wash our hands because we're gonna be eating everything by hand today. I'm so excited.
This is Ethiopian authentic dish. The veggie and the meat combination plus tips. Tips is the lamb frying, carrot, cabbage, potato. This is lentils, split peas or dal. This is chickpea, this is spinach. These 5 things are the part of the veggie combination. And again from the meat combination, chicken stew, lamb stew, and the beef stew. In the middle, it's called tips, making from lamb or beef. This one is from lamb, little bit mild spicy. And the other part is the injera, the main part of the dish.
I am so excited. We have 3 meats, we have the rest are veggies. So I'm gonna try the chicken one first. So what we've got here is injera. So this is a sort of spongy type bread. It's quite soft and a little bit sticky. And this is the utensil that I will use to hold onto the different dishes. Oh my goodness, this is delicious. Let me just first talk about the injera. So it's quite porous and there's like a slight tang to it, kind of like a sourdough flavor. And this is just the perfect vehicle to deliver food to your mouth. It's porous and it's spongy, but it doesn't seep through. So this is chicken stewed in a red pepper sauce with Ethiopian spices. And you can feel the spices slightly warming up, but super aromatic and just makes you want to go in for more and more and more. Let me try the beef. Ooh, I got a nice chunk of beef in there. So this one is like tender, lean beef that's cooked in the red pepper sauce as well. And then also it's got like an assortment of Ethiopian spices. I actually really like how the platter for 2 has actually quite a lot of variety. I'm trying one of the veggie ones. It's got a really nice like earthy flavor from the split peas. Right now I'm gonna try the spinach one. This one is seasoned with onion, garlic, chili, ginger, and spices. So with the red lentil stew, they use something called berbere. It's what gives it that distinctive, rich red color. It has like a combination of like paprika, garlic, ginger, cardamom. This was also used in the chicken and also the beef. And funnily enough, these are my 3 favorite dishes in the shared platter. Right after lunch, we decided to try some Ethiopian coffee. I saw someone try it earlier and was so intrigued by it. There's popcorn, there's incense burning, which is meant to create a calm, relaxed atmosphere. So these are beans from Ethiopia. They roast them right here on the pan in the kitchen. We've got popcorn. I've never had coffee with popcorn. I think I'm just gonna take a sip as is and then add the sugar. It's very strong. It's kind of bitter, but it's whole gum. I'll find the English translation for this.
And smoke is a part of the tradition. Makes relax, remove the bad spirit.
Do I eat the popcorn after the sip?
You can eat anytime.
Anytime, okay.
No movie after the popcorn.
I'm super relaxed, but we're not done with this video yet. We are hitting up a few more places to try food that I have never tried before. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this coffee and I'll see you very, very shortly. Cue transition. So I I've just arrived at Cairo Takeaway here in Anmore, and we are going to be eating some Egyptian food today. So I have had some experience with Egyptian food before, and from memory, they are quite like hearty, comforting, and filling. But today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be trying some dishes that I've actually never tried before, but they're actually quite iconic and signature Egyptian dishes. You'll see very shortly what kind of dishes I'm talking about. Wow! Oh, that looks beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, as I was speaking, the food has just arrived, and my goodness, it is absolutely beautiful. Let me give you a close-up. I've ordered the koshari, I've ordered the hawashi, and I've also got myself a drink. So this is what I have. This is called the kakare, and it's a hibiscus iced tea. So this is made by steeping dry hibiscus flowers and then sweetening it with either, sweeteners or honey or sugars. It's sweet, it's a little bit tart. It reminds me a little bit of like a cranberry juice. But it's so nice and so refreshing. So the first thing I'm going to try is the koshari. And the moment it arrives, you can smell the tomato flavor. It's a combination of rice, pasta, lentils, chickpeas, and then fried onions on top. Let's give it a go before I say anything else. I'm going to try and get a bite with absolutely everything. Oh my goodness. On paper, it sounds kind of chaotic. It's like carbs on carbs on carbs. But the tartness of the tomato sauce and the garlic vinegar sauce, which brings a really nice acidity, completely balances out the hardiness of all of the carbs. Wow. And the fried onions on top, they actually do a lot in terms of bringing a different texture. You know how in terms of fashion, you're not meant to go double denim? But some people are able to pull it off. This is that dish. This is like carbs on carbs on carbs, but somehow it just works. If anyone is running the Sydney Marathon sometime soon, I reckon this would be like the best meal prior when you need to carb load. So next up, I'm trying the hawashi. This is essentially spiced minced meat stuffed inside Egyptian flatbread, and then it's like really, really nice and crisp on the outside with some sesame on top as well. It comes with a range of different pickles and also a wedge of lemon. Oh my goodness. Let me get one more bite. If I can only use 3 words, I'd say this is yummy. So the filling usually has minced meat, onions, spices, and then depending on the version, it will also have tomato and chili as well. There's actually a slight kick to this. So the outside, this is incredibly crispy. And then the inside is spiced. It's full of flavor. This is like the perfect kind of street food snack because I can kind of hold this and walk around and not make too much of a mess. In fact, this reminds me a little bit of something from Xi'an cuisine. It's called rojamo. It's kind of like a Chinese hamburger. The main difference is it's more braised meat stuffed in a bun. You've got all the different textures, you've got all the different flavors, and then you can chase it with the acidity of the pickles. This is addictive. What a delicious feast. I really liked both of the things that I've had today. And I also really like this drink. It's so refreshing. And yeah, everything that I've had in this video so far, I've loved. We are going to be trying Nigerian food. This is my first time ever trying it. And before even coming here, I knew exactly what I wanted. I'm going to get jollof rice. I'm gonna get fufu and egusi. And while we're waiting, we've got our appetizers for today. We've got a bread roll and some butter. I love pepper butter. So first up, we've got jollof rice. This is rice cooked in a variety of spices with tomato, onions, and she gets all of her spices from Nigeria. So it's smoky, it's savory. It's got a kick to it, but it's like a slow warmth. It slowly warms you up. And the rice is firm. And then the plantains, let me just give this a go now. This is like the sweet sidekick to the dish. It's kind of like banana, but it's a bit starchier. And when it's fried, it's caramelized and golden. I think these are carrots. Let me try. They're carrots. All right, and this is my first time trying fufu. So the fufu is pounded yam. On its own, there's actually not a lot of flavor. It's quite neutral in flavor. In fact, it's the vehicle to carry the egusi. This actually tastes a little bit like unseasoned mashed potatoes to me. I was reading online the right way to eat this is with your hands, and then you're actually not meant to chew it. You're just meant to swallow it with the egusi. But I can't help but chew it still. So with egusi, this is a rich, hearty stew that's built on grounded melon seeds. I love the addition of the greens. I love how nutty it is. Yeah. I can get behind this. Summy told me that they used to be a pop-up and have only recently opened as a restaurant, and she's the one cooking everything. She's the only chef in the kitchen. So if you come here, do expect a bit of a wait, and it might not be the kind of place you go to when you're in a rush. I wasn't quite used to how informal the place felt at first, but they told me that's the intention. They want it to feel like you're being welcomed into their home. And you know what? I'm just grateful that I finally got to try these iconic Nigerian dishes. All right, and that is pretty much it for this video. I've said this a few times already, but I just feel so lucky that I live in Sydney because we get access to so many different types of cuisines and it's all just a drive away. So yeah, if you have any other dishes or any other cuisines that you want to see on this channel, please let me know. I will go and try and find it and feature it. And yeah, thank you so much for watching till the end. If you're still watching, right now, just know that I appreciate you extra much. Subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on your notification bell if you haven't already. And I'll see you in my next video very, very shortly. Bye.